yippee, blueprints! So, our allowance today is gonna be at 6 coins. Yeah, for the recap, for those of you who have somehow jumped into episode 9 of a not popular YouTuber series instead of watching all of it like you all should have done. In the previous one, we actually did quite a bit. We finally got the 4th gas valve, meaning that we have an elevator to a lower level. We still don't have a lot we can do down there, but we have some ideas. We also greatly increased our allowance using a powered up laundry room, and we opened up a new space outdoors. Let's actually go there first. And by first, I mean let's go to the west gate first and get one of the rooms. I think there's only one room left. There's 8 outer rooms. I think this is day 9. So I think there's one we have not drafted yet. We've drafted all the other 7. Let's see if it's given it to us. Nope, we have the 3. Do we still have the blessing of the dancer? We shouldn't have the blessing of the dancer anymore. So tell you what, let's take the shrine again, give ourselves another blessing. So if I do this, this was the blessing of the dancer. This is also the blessing of the dancer. So in order to get the next blessing, you have to go to the next increment of 2. So 1 and 2 gives a blessing, 3 and 4 gives a blessing. Let's try this one, see what we get. I happen to know, but you won't know until I press confirm. I actually like the blessing at 3, the blessing of the high roller. So every time we draft a shop room, we get an ivory die. And every time we roll an ivory die, we get 5 monies. And so that'll last a few days. Okay. Well, I was hoping for the room we hadn't drafted yet, the tomb. But I'll take the shrine. There's no reason to go down the elevator over there, so let's head over to Blackbridge Grotto, which we opened up last episode, and see if there's anything remotely useful there. Because like the other places we opened up, it told us the benefit it would give us. This one just said, you know, we opened this up and there was a terminal here, I think. Yeah, so this is Blackbridge Grotto. There is a terminal over here. Press enter. Admin key. Well, this is not Swan Song, unfortunately. Admin not found. We need to find a different password for this one. And finding the password for this is much trickier than finding the password for just the regular computers. So we're kind of locked out of this. But once we get in, we can access any terminal from here. I think you can access it even if you haven't unlocked the other terminals in the house. You can just get in. Anything else that's in here? We have computers that we can't interact with. Lots of blinking lights. There's a note here. It's got an I, then a space, then an I-O-O. I guess we'll keep this in mind. Not sure what it'll do for us. Got this symbol, this Mount Holly symbol here, the 3 circles in this arrangement, but one of them's lit up. And if we look here, we have the same arrangement and the same piece is lit up. We can actually interact with it. And we can take this. It's a microchip. It looks like it might be able to be plugged in somewhere. And that somewhere is in fact here. And now that is no longer lit. So let's insert that. I don't know what else to do with it, so we're going to hold on to that right there. Somewhat disappointing. There really isn't anything to do in Blackbridge Grotto right now. Or at least we do not have the means to know that there's anything to do in Blackbridge Grotto. We're going to have to explore elsewhere, see if we can't find that admin key or maybe some more microchips. Well, used up a bunch of steps. If we can't do anything out there, what should our goal be for today? Well, we can get to the antechamber again, but that's not the most useful. We get a basement key, but until we know where the basement is, we really can't do anything. So we're going to look around for any clue as to how to get into a basement or where a basement is. So that's basically what it means. If we find a room we haven't seen before, we should take it. A den is an obvious take in this first rank. Let me see what I get here, because I want to make sure it doesn't go left, because this is a waste. This essentially makes a wasted path. I'm going to put the dead end here, not the chapel, because it wastes one door of the chapel. Let's put the closet here. Might be a terrible place for a closet. We get an ivory die. Because we have the Blessing of the High Roller, we get 5 coins for using this, so we might want to use it even if we don't care, even if we're not worried about the rooms we're getting. Let's grab this. I think we've had this before, Lucky Rabbit's Foot. And then see what we can draft on this side. Let's not draft a dead end. The commissary could be useful. We don't have a lot of money right now. If we re-roll, we'll have money, but then we won't have the commissary. So let's put the bedroom here. And let's start off with the den, because we get a gem for that. We want to have as many gems as possible. Is there anything in this room I've missed? It's about time to start doing that. We're in, I wouldn't call this the mid-game, but we're past sort of the very beginning of the game. We've gotten all the permanent additions, which, you know, it's pretty rare to get them all this early, especially if you've never played the game before. But we've gotten all these. We know there's a basement key, but we haven't found anything else. But we're approaching a point of the game where there's no longer an obvious thing to do every day that we'll definitely succeed at. We're going to reach a bunch of days where we probably don't make obvious progress. And so we just have to have a bit of patience and just take any opportunity that's given to us rather than try to force one or two things to happen. So observatory is great to give us stars. We lost a bunch to make our allowance go up. Parlor is also great for gems. Nook is great for a key. I think I'm actually going to take the Nook because I don't have any keys. I'm going to get the other rooms. They're going to happen. I'm not worried about that at all. And then let's see what's here, because I want this to go straight. If it goes right, it just crosses over with the den. The den would also need to go straight instead of turning left. So I kind of need to get lucky here and get a straight room. So West Wing Hall, or I could just put the storeroom here. I think I'm going to put the storeroom here. This could end up coming back to bite me in the butt, but let's get this dead end out of my draft pool. I don't want to see it anymore. We can also start paying attention to the chess pieces because we know where to put them. So there's a white pawn in here. There is a white rook in here. And there's another white pawn in here. So we need a straight shot out of here. We got it, the corridor. It's a shame to use the corridor this early because it's going to be unlocked anyway. I could also throw security down here because, yeah, it wastes one of the doors of it. It costs a gem, but I also get to use the security special terminal here. I think I'm going to do it. I have plenty of gems. Again, not the most optimal drafting, but we can at least set our security levels where we want them, so we can check, see if we missed anything. A fruit and a gem, probably both in the bedroom. Keycard system, we're going to change it to low level, because we don't know if we're going to get the keycard / the breaker box. We're going to set offline mode to unlocked, because you never ever want it to be locked. Oh, the fruit is here, so the gem might be in the bedroom. That's interesting. Okay, let's see what we get out of here. Now I want something like a passageway. That's good right here. Is it good enough for me to just take it? I'm going to take it and then I'm going to back up, because now this is very open. I have 3 paths out of here. Let's go around to the bedroom and start doing stuff there. Is there a chess piece in that room? I don't think so. Is there a chess piece in this room? I think we found one. Yeah, white pawns. We got a lot of white pawns. Nothing else in here. I preferred something that turns right. I'm actually going to take this now. It's going to give us some money. And that turns left, and that turns left. So I just totally bungled it. Okay, that happens. I'm going to put the chapel here. It wastes one of the chapel's exits. Gets it out of my draft pool when I actually kind of want it in the draft pool. But now I want this to turn right. East Wing Hall is the best. Dining room is a great room, but I don't want it this early because I have to get to rank 8. So if I get to rank 8, I have to come all the way back here to get those steps. I don't want to do that. I want to put the dining room closer to rank 8. Okay. What do we got? This is a great spot for a dead end. All of these are not dead ends. I don't want to put the kitchen here because I have to come back here every time I want to buy food. I don't have a ton of money. I do have some money. And when I do this, I'll get another die. But I think I'd rather get keys and or gems. Let me give myself the gems now. open up more possibilities for me later. And a magnifying glass. That worked out. I don't know what I'll need it for, but let's take it. Yeah, I have some pretty good items. Let's see. The statement... Oh, God. The statement on one of the other two boxes would be true if you replaced the word every with the word this. Let's ignore that for a second. Every box contains gems. Every box is black. Okay. These are both false, which means this has to be true. The statement on one of the other two boxes would be true if you replace the word every with the word this. This box is black is not true. This box contains gems is true. This has to be the one. This has to be. There's no other option. Yep. 2 gems. So good gem count. Let's head up from here, see what we can do. It's okay if this is a dead end. We have a way through the passageway. Okay, utility closet is good because now we can set our security level high. Spare room is good for just pushing us forward, but I don't want the spare room here. Nursery is good if I want to start drafting bedrooms. I'm going to give myself steps, but I'm not worried about steps right now. I think this is my best option because what I want to do is turn off the key cards, turn off the gymnasium, and turn on the garage. I've realized I think I've drafted the garage several times now, and I haven't explained something about it that is probably somewhat obvious in hindsight. Yeah, now I never need to go through that chapel again. The garage has only ever been drafted in this area because you can open the garage door, go out to the west gate. So it has to be drafted somewhere here. And in fact, I think it's only 1, 2, 3, one of these 4 spots. Maybe it can be drafted up here. Garage can only be drafted here, and only if you're moving north or moving west into it. You can't draft it from the top. Okay, let's head to security. So now this is our only route, but we have 3 ways out from here. So hopefully that doesn't bite us in the butt. Let's set the security level high because we just turned it off. And we never need to go back any of these places, which is good. No more backtracking. Let's see. Garage is an okay to be here. I don't really want the furnace. It makes more likely for red rooms. Dark room could go here. Maybe then we backtrack to the utility closet. Maybe then we do that. Yeah. Unfortunate. Okay, I just said I wouldn't have to backtrack, and now we're going to backtrack. That's okay. I still have enough steps. If I draft a dining room later, we'll definitely have enough steps. This bedroom's going to help. I am spending more money, which sucks. But I can now go through the dark room with ease, and also the gymnasium. I don't have to worry about that room. 5 coins is okay. It's probably enough for 1 item at the commissary. I still would want more coins, so to get myself more shop rooms and get my more ivory dice to spend. So let's get the room out of the dark room first and hope it's either a dead end or a straightaway. I don't want this one. This is a better spot for the dining room, but it's still a little early. Let's take the secret passage. It is a gem, but now we can choose what we want. And I want a shop room because that is going to give us ivory dice. Ooh, special cost bypassed. Let's take the one that doesn't cost a gem. We also haven't seen this room yet? Have we seen this room? No, we haven't seen it. So this room I just drafted for the ivory dye. I can't do anything here. Luxury items for sale cost so much money. I don't have enough. But let's look what they are. So the moon pendant for 20. If you call it a day while wearing the moon pendant, you will start tomorrow with 2 of the items in your inventory. That's really cool. Master key opens all normal doors, so of course it's really expensive. But you won't have to worry about keys again. Chronograph, when drafting, you may rewind time after drawing new floor plans. You are more likely to draw tomorrow rooms while drafting. This is kind of weird. So rewinding time, the way it works, let's say I'm in the drawing room. I draft rooms. I don't like them, so I hit the redraw button. I get a set of new rooms, but they're worse than the first 3. I can rewind and look at the first 3 again. That's what it means. It's not that useful, but if you want the tomorrow rooms, this is what this is good for. Ornate compass. While drafting, you may rotate the first 3 floor plans you draw. That's nice if you don't want to make dead ends. But yeah, I can't buy any of that. I'm probably not going to be able to. Do I want to use my key yet? I wanted a garage. Let's use the key and then hope for a garage. There we go. Let's get the garage. Cost a gem, yes, but I want to have a bunch of keys. Doesn't matter that I'm opening the door. I won't be using that passage, but just in case I have a use for the passage, it is now open. So I made a dead end. I'm making a lot of dead ends. That's risky. Now my biggest hurdle, gems is pretty low. One good room is going to clear out my gems. And steps, I'm starting to worry about. Let's see what this direction will give me. Corridor is starting to be useful at this point because I might start seeing locked doors. So I'm going to put the corridor here, and then I'm going to see what I can get over here. I want something that moves. Right or up is good. Both of these are great for access, but I do not want them now. I mean, losing half the steps doesn't lose a lot of steps because I only have 26, but I would have to then get like a dining room really, really quickly. I don't think I'll make it with this. I don't want the archives now, so I'm going to redraw, give myself some money. The commissary. It's a bad place for it because it forces a dead end. So we're gonna spare room it, and now we need a room to go north. We just need that to happen. It's unlikely, but I would like that to happen. The gymnasium, if it only moved north, it would be great. Hallway kind of wastes one of hallway's entrances. This is how this is going to go. We're just stuck doing it. Office is going to use all my gems. I don't want to do that yet. Let's get more steps from the pantry. Not a lot of steps. And then let's put something nice here. Observatory and kitchen both go the wrong way. Terrace will at least prevent me from having to spend gems on green rooms. This will give me steps though. And I think I want to be doing this. I'll also get an ivory die. So we're going to move to the kitchen, which I believe we've seen the kitchen before. Yeah, we've been in the kitchen several times. Let's see. Banana club sandwich is 15. This is for every green room in the house. Well, we don't really have any green rooms in the house. So this is only 5 steps. I don't want to spend money on that. This is probably the move because I really want a large amount of steps quickly. And I can come back after crafting more green rooms, I guess. So I still don't have a really clear purpose for today. What am I doing? I have to go through the corridor now. I've sort of bottlenecked myself, which is not great. But it's not the end of the world. I can still find something useful. Drawing room is useful, but it does... it's more useful if I have both exits. I'm going to boudoir it so I get ivory dice because I get money for ivory dice. And I get a gem from the boudoir safe. Every time we draft this room, it's a free gem. So the safes we've opened, the orchard counts as 1, even though it's, if we count small gates, that's a safe. The boudoir is 2, the shelter is 3, right? Well, I'd say we should have two of these, right? Did we read this? I feel like we read this one. And we read the other one. I don't know why it says we only have 1 red letter. Because I think we did that. Wait, did we? Oh, because I remember doing the shelter. I don't think we went back to the shelter and looked at the red letter. Did we? I'd have to recheck the footage. I might have just assumed because I set the timer the correct way, and then I just went on my way and I never read the red letter that was in there. That was dumb. Well, we're going to see the shelter again at some point, so we can always set it then. Because it's a free gem in the shelter as well. Well, we have to use this. And let's see what we get. I actually would prefer a room that's got 2 exits, so I can also get a room here, but it's okay if I don't. We're gonna get keys, I guess. We're gonna go for keys. I could have redrawn, but I don't want to go through my ivory dice yet. All right, 18. 20 minus 10 is 10 times 2 is 20. 14 minus 2 is 12, times 2 is 24, divided by 8 is 3. 10 minus 4 minus 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, divided by 2 is 4. 2 regular keys, I'll accept that. So now commissary is great, but it is going to force... dining room is the best here. It has 2 exits, and I'm close to rank 8. What am I looking for here? Oh, I should have checked what the meal was when I was in the kitchen. Oh well. Here, I don't want dead ends. Let me redraw now. Conference room, gymnasium, both of these are good. Let's take the conference room, because then if I get a spread room, it'll all come here. Aha! Free doors. This is a good spot for a locksmith, I think. It is a gem. I am worried about my gems now. But if I get a commissary, I can buy them sometimes. I can't buy this. Special key is good. Lockpick kit is even better. But I'm doing good on keys at the moment. Have I ever drafted this room? No, this is the first time drafting it. Is there anything in here I'm going to want then? I should just double check. No, it's just keys. So I could do 1 key. I don't really need that. I have 5. A special key could be very useful. I could get lucky with this. Let me aim for this and hope I get lucky with a special key. There's actually 1 key in particular I'm thinking of that would be very, very useful. And I got it. I got what I was thinking of. The key to the secret garden. So there was a note about the secret garden in Robert Nogula's book. I don't think we've ever seen that key. There are multiple ways to get this key. And when I first played, I didn't know what to do with it. Because I was like, well, I have to find the room, the secret garden, to use it. No, that's not how it works. Finding it won't be easy. Yeah, the key to the secret garden. So, if it was a typical draft room, it would never work, right? Because you have to draft and see what the rooms are. So you'd think, oh, if I draft and then the secret garden shows up, I have the key. But you have to use your keys before drafting. So the way it works is when you're going to unlock a door, if you use the secret garden key, it will draft the secret garden. But you have to do it in a certain spot. So we're going to do the patio. We're going to do gymnasium. Gives me more options. It's a security door, which is okay. Let's see. This is locked. Let's use our secret garden key. Does it fit? It fits. So we've never seen this room. Now we have. This is nice. It gives us a sledgehammer that we don't really need. I don't think I've seen any locked trunks. Do we have a shovel? No, we can't do that. Yeah, I'm wasting the exits on it, but it was more important to me to just have the secret garden because we've never seen it. We have a weather vane with a bunch of arrows on it. We have this rogue moon symbol, and we have a recessed wall, which looks very suspicious. We have a wheel. And when we do this, we move the weather vane. And so we moved that one. Let's see, there's another wheel. Let's see what happens when we move this one. Alright, so we can move the middle and bottom weather vanes. Let's move them so they all face the same direction. Yeah. And there's another lever. So this is good to know. Now we have 2 ways into the antechamber. To get into the west entrance, we need to get the secret garden. So we need to have the secret garden key. And at that point, it's trivial to get this lever. To get the lever in the Great Hall, we need to get the Great Hall and have enough keys to explore it. And that will unlock the east door. So there are now 2 ways into the antechamber. Of course, getting to here will not be super easy with my setup, but it's possible. Yeah, the reason I used the secret garden there was this is a security door, so I can't use a key on it. So I have no guarantees I would get a locked door up here. I want the courtyard because I want gems. I'm going to get 2 gems in here. And maybe an item. No, it doesn't look like I have an item, but I do have a trunk I can smash. Time to start using these, huh? And maybe find a commissary. Let's see what I can get up this way. Nursery commissary. Yeah, let's get that. Is this a good spot for it? Sure. So I have a lot of dice now. I just unlocked the last meal. So what's here? Metal detector's good, shovel's good, sleeping mask. I am low on steps. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start burning through some ivory dice here. No, I'm going to burn through ivory dice in this room. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, hey, another white pawn. I have not been paying attention to the chess pieces again. Maybe I could have gotten the chess pieces I need. That's that. Take a look at these pictures again. So we know they're measuring this. They're all measuring stride length, like the pace. Okay, so we have the horse, looks like the longest pace. We have this gentleman, looks like also a long pace. We have the lady has got a small stride. The boy there has probably longer than the gentleman. And last but not least, there's that hobbled old guy. Yeah. Huh. Okay, let's do that. Let's just hold on to that. I don't feel like looking at every single one of these pictures and trying to work something out from there because I don't think I have enough information. Well, this is one of those times I actually do know some secrets that I've not been doing every time I enter the drawing room to give you a chance to really look around and perhaps notice the thing I've missed before I do. You probably have noticed it now, but I'm going to move on for a bit. We're going to use a key because we have to, and then we're going to start spending these dice because I really wish I had that. The library, though, would take me... I'm gonna redraw floor plans with the die to give myself some money. The pool is what I would love, but I do need a gem for that. We're going to do a die again. And now I don't want to freeze my counts. We're going to redraw one more time. Now we have a lot. So this isn't great either. I'm going to do the free redraw. And I'm going to put the library here. Okay. Now I have 22 coins. Let's do this. We don't have the Great Hall, so we can't get in this side. Book request form. We've looked at the pump manual. We looked at this. What is good to have now? Well, the rest of these books are somewhat useful, but they're not as useful as these two. At least not immediately. These two are the most useful when you first start. This one's in the observatory. No need to ever take it. We're going to just start going through. I'm going to start with Swimbird because we were told this is one of our mother's books. So let's read this book and see if there's anything in here we can find. Okay. Let's draft the other side room. Yeah, let's draft the other room. Be nice if I could get that. I really would. Hold on a second. The foundation does not reset every day. Ooh, this is lucky. This is a good lucky draw for day 9. We want this. We absolutely want this. Does not reset each day. Once I place this, it's here every day. Forever. In this spot. I am taking it. I don't have a shovel yet. I can get a shovel pretty easily. Hold on, it was for sale. I have enough money for everything here? Not for everything. Shovel, I'd have to use more stuff. Shovel, sleeping mask, or metal detector? Let's take the metal detector first. Sleeping mask is only useful once I need to go through bedrooms again, and I don't really have a lot of those. But if I use some dice here, I can start purchasing that. Redraw, give myself some money. Ah, the Great Hall. This is a great place for it. Now I have enough money for the sleep mask, which means I would need to then draft a bedroom somewhere, but that's okay. I'm starting to run low on steps. I still don't know why I'm trying to get into the antechamber. There's really no reason for me to do that right now. So yeah, the foundation, it's weird that I placed it so none of the doors are facing south, which means if I'm starting a new day to get into it, I can't go into it this direction, but that's okay. And it is really far away from the entrance, so to get to it again is going to take a while, but that's alright. I can now dig these up. Oh, I just wasn't looking around the pillar. There's a thing there. There's a lever, but I can't reach it. And there is a long drop down there. So there's clearly a secret in this room I can unlock. I have a lot of keys. That makes me very happy. I got some steps back. That also makes me happy. Oh, this is just back to where I was. So let's dig up the courtyard now and find nothing. Thank you. Ah, there. I could buy the salt shaker now, which is not helpful to me. I made the dining room, right? Let's go to the... Let's buy the salt shaker, then go to the dining room. I'm a dum-dum. Buy the salt shaker. I really wish there had been gems in the commissary. That is what I wished. But unfortunately, we got very unlucky with that. What? Oh. Oh! Car keys. You know what? If we get all the way back to... What the heck? Oh. This is good. We can get back to the garage pretty easily if this is the case. Look at this. The secret garden, when you enter it, it spreads fruit throughout the house, but it spread it all here because I had a conference room. That was lucky. Deposit box key. Safe deposit box. Oh man, there's so many things. Hold on. So let's go to the dining room because it's going to give me my steps. Yeah. Where's the dining room? This way. Let's go to the dining room. I could potentially make something out of this day. I already have, by drafting the foundation, I made something out of the day. But now I have a ton of steps. I have car keys, so I can go back to the garage. I can also open this. I have a safe deposit box key. If I manage to find a place to put that today, it would be really nice. It's unlikely, but I could do it. So all of this, I'm going to redraft. I want this to face right. Do I want to be less likely to find items? I feel like I just need to take it because I already have plenty of items. I am doing great on items. Because what this is going to do is potentially make another entrance to the Great Hall, so I don't have to worry about keys there. So how long is it going to take me to get to the garage? It's going to take a fair amount of steps, but you know what? I have 62 of them. I have the sleep mask, so I'm going to get 5 for that. Am I going to go through any other bedrooms here? No. But I can make bedrooms. So I go through the dark room, and then I go straight ahead to the garage. Yeah, this is just another reason why you never give up on the day, why you always push through, even if you don't know exactly what you can find. Because I don't think we've opened the car yet. Unfortunately, we can't drive it, but we can look at this note that says the drop-off address is 14227 Sandy Heights, a small garage on the south edge of Trinsdale. The goods are already secure and in the trunk, so just unload and get back here before noon. I've seen Sinclair's schedule, and I don't think he'll be requesting the car today, but you never know when the cat will want to get some air. Tomorrow will likely be the last delivery, and I believe Denny already has payment ready. So that'd be Denny Ravane. Okay, this is not where we are, so somebody is doing some scandalous, secretive business. We can also unlock the trunk. And we get an upgrade disc. So yeah, there's an upgrade disc the first time you open this trunk, no matter what. So that is why I wanted to get here. Then we want to go to a room with a terminal, and so security looks like the closest one. We can upgrade another room. I forget we've upgraded already. We've upgraded the courtyard to have gems. What else did we upgrade? There's another item in here? Oh, dang. Battery pack. Which is really only useful if I have a workshop. But that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. Let's go. This is security. We've upgraded corridor. I forget what else we upgraded. The boudoir. That's what we upgraded. I think those are the only two that we've upgraded so far. Nook. Alright, here's where the choices come in. So, regular upgrade will give us 2 keys. That's nice, but the thing is, in my opinion, this extra key is not going to be the make or break. Because if I'm struggling on keys, I'm just having a bad time. The 1 extra key is not going to save the run. If I'm doing well on keys, though, I don't need this extra one. Like, I have 5 keys already. I have ways of finding keys. I'm doing all right. The breakfast nook is going to make a key, of course, and it will always have bacon and eggs, which is a thing that if you eat it, it adds the morning room to your draft pool. So a morning room otherwise is not able to be seen unless you get bacon and eggs in the kitchen. which is possible. So if I don't do this, the morning room is going to be hard to find. And the morning room, I forget exactly what it does. I think it adds 2 gems tomorrow. So if I get the morning room, I add to my already 2 gem start. So I would start the day with 4 gems, which is kind of nice, but it's not like make or break nice. Reading Nook, you will always draft a library while drafting in this room. You don't need to draft it, but it will always be in the pool. The thing about the library is that I want to be seeing those books, and the library drafts uncommon rooms out of it. One of those rooms, I don't think we've seen yet, but there's a particular room that can only be drafted out of the library. This is one of those times where I'm sort of using the meta knowledge, because if you see this upgrade and you don't know how cool the library is yet, you're not going to take it. But if you know that there's special things the library does, this kind of looks like the most attractive option. But all of these are good. They're all good options. This seems like the least interesting to me because I don't care about the morning room at all. This is just a good boilerplate. You just struggle getting keys. Get yourself more keys. My first playthrough I did this and it worked out just fine. I'm going to take the Reading Nook because I want to see books. And if I don't need more books, I at least want to draft uncommon rooms. So, that's a good start to the day. Or start, a good... it's almost to the end of this day. There's not much else we can do. I suppose we can get into the antechamber again, but we don't have a way to a basement is the trouble. So here we get 5 steps because it's a bedroom. I want something that moves right, but it is not 100% necessary I get it. I'll use a key, why not? This is good, but I don't have... while drafting may spend gems, it's totally useless. I'm going to take it though, because there's a safe in here. If you remember, we saw this room... Oh, hey. I could use that. We saw this room earlier because it was what told us about this puzzle, and there was a safe. We didn't know how to get in. But now we do know how to get in. 8 dates open 8 safes, or 8 dates crack 8 safes. We need to find a date. And the nice thing about these safes is that, with very, very few exceptions, the answer is in the room that has the safe. The only exception I can think of is the orchard. So there's something in this room that tells us. And we have a chessboard with a queen, so there's a queen, a black queen in this room. It's on... Hold on. Is it item? Oh, it... No? What item are you picking up here? Weird. But it's on D8. That's just about our only clue in this room. So if we try to figure out what this would mean, D8 could also be date, but we're looking for a way to get a date out of this. So it could be day 8. It could be that D stands for the 4th month, or the 4th day, like 8th month, 4th day, or 8th day of the 4th month. Those are not the answer. It turns out the answer is a little bit more lateral than that. I'm not terribly a fan of what it actually is. Like D8, meaning like month 4, day 8, makes sense to me, but what it means is you're supposed to take the letter D and work out the month from the letter and not like an alphanumeric thing. Am I making sense? Am I doing okay? Do I need to go to bed? Do I need to take a nap? The only month that starts with D is December, so what they're asking for is December 8th. It's not my favorite puzzle solution. Because like it's workable, but it doesn't feel like, oh, that must be the answer. It feels like there's 4 or 5 acceptable answers, and you just have to guess which one is correct. So I do not like that. Whereas, say, the boudoir is very obvious you're going for Christmas Day. This one is 4 or 5 possible answers. You have to guess which one is correct. Red letter 2. December 8th. M. Be prepared for our plans to be set in motion in a month or 2. It's all lining up and all of our hard work is about to come to fruition. I have just learned that several members of the museum's guard are sympathetic to our cause. We suspect 2 more to be pure opportunists whose loyalty extends only to their coin purse. Your uncle has already agreed to let us use Mount Holly's flexible floor plan for a trial run, assuming the red print we have secured of the museum's closed exhibit is in fact accurate and up to date. We should begin these trials without delay once you arrive. If you can within the next 2 months fabricate some fiction that might alleviate us of the presence of the servant staff. Until we meet on the shore of White Sands, Caleb. Okay, there's a lot of stuff in here. Oh, we found a secret floor plan. Would you like to permanently add? Yes. Yes, we want to do this. Okay. We don't want it yet. Like, it's not going to be helpful to us right now. But there will be a point at which that room is helpful. But let's look through this. December 8th, M. So writing to someone with the first name that starts with M. Let's keep that in mind. We know... The only people we know in the story that have a first name M are Mary Epson and Mary Matthew, who is our mother. But it could be somebody else, but if it isn't, we're writing to one of those two. There's plans here, museum's guard, so we're going to do something at a museum. The most common thing to do there is a heist. We also know that there was a theft from a museum of the crown and the jewels, the Orindia crown. I'd have to look that up again. We already know that's happened. Your uncle has already agreed to let us use Mount Holly's flexible. Okay, now we know who this is. M is Mary Matthew. This is our mother, Mary Jones, Mary Matthew Jones. Our mother is being written to with some plans to do something in a museum, to use this place to practice using the closed exhibit. So we're going to do trials. Within the next 2 months, fabricate some fiction. We don't know what year this was set in December 8th. It could have been last year. It's not going to be this year because we haven't reached December 8th yet, so it could have been last year. No. Our mother disappeared. Our mother disappeared in 1987. This is an old letter. So, two options I think make sense from a story perspective. One, she disappeared because she got iced. Like, she was discovered to be the person behind the plan, and she got disappeared. Like, the government took her, and she's in prison somewhere, or she was capped. Something like that. Option two is she got away with whatever she was doing, and now she's escaped, and we can't find her. Kind of sucks for me to have lost my mom with no explanation. And the other red letter we read was from my dad, and he was really pissed because he doesn't know what this is. He just thinks that my mom is gone, and he thinks that he suspects something, but he doesn't know what it was. Until we meet on the shore of White Sands. The first Alzara prediction mentioned something about White Sands, but I don't know who Caleb is, or I don't remember who Caleb is. Maybe he's one of the guys. Ooh, excuse me, in the archives, the newspaper clippings, like Manning or something. So this is a blueprint of what? This is just a regular blueprint. That doesn't matter. That was good. I'm glad we got that. Yeah, it's a stupid place to put the study, but I'm glad we got that. It effectively makes the study... it's not quite useless. Okay, this metal detector's going nuts right around here. Oh, it's because the Great Hall has something in it. That's what it's going to be. But the study now, we no longer need this message, and we no longer need the red letter, but if we ever draft it, it has a useful ability, and it gives us a free gem. Okay, now that we have gems, it's much safer to travel. Let's see what else I can get for this run. There's just stuff in the Great Hall. I think that's what the metal detector is picking up. I don't want to buy keys, do I? I think maybe if I get more money, I can buy more keys and then use that. That's going to be tricky. I would need to get the door out of the top and then use my ivory die. And then, use my ivory die, go back to the locksmith, purchase a key or two, and then finish off the rest of this room. So I want to go this way and see what I get. This is the door that has items. And the lever. So I can get into the antechamber from either side now. Although I already have a way in, I believe, from the east. Yes, I can use the library to get in if I ever feel the need to. Okay, well let's not worry about those doors yet. Let's not waste. I gotta potentially waste a key here. This could be the wrong one. That is correct. That means this one is a waste. Don't ever open that door. Let's use our ivory die unless I get a really, really good room. I don't care for any of them, so we're going to redraw with this to get our money. We're going to take the laboratory. And then potentially... Oh, there's an item? Oh, there's a coin. I got a lot of money, so I should go to the locksmith and get keys. Let's see what kind of thing I can get here. Let's set up an experiment. We're near the end of the day, so I don't want either of these because it's not going to happen. Immediately add 3 aquariums to today's draft pool. I don't want aquariums. Gain 1 key for every 2 hallways in your house. Now I don't need to do anything, so we're going to do that. That's going to give me 3 keys, I believe. That was nice. Yeah, I have a lot of hallways. So now the Great Hall is completely trivialized. I can open all of these doors. It's going to be through this one. It's going to be the items. 2 keys. Okay. So now, the way the Great Hall works again is every side of the Great Hall is 3 doors. 1 door leads to items, 1 door leads to a door, and 1 door leads to a dead end. So we know this is a dead end. One of these 2 leads to a door, the other is also a dead end. I still get the thing beeping, so is there another item in here? There. So the only reason to open one of those is to unlock a door, but it won't go anywhere because the dining room is already full up. So let's go to the laboratory again, which is here. We're filling out rooms, basically just looking for more hints on something. Yeah, I'm fine on keys. I don't think I'll get anything else this day, so we're just kind of farting through. Let's get the workshop because we can grab... a broken lever. We don't have to worry about this. We already got the antechamber opened. We solved this already? Did we solve the stones cut by hand message? First words on the something message. And the first words were, because we've looked at pages 1 through 4 and now page 8. So I'd have to find pages 5, 6, and 7. I still haven't found those. Okay, we got a lot of items you can make. Let's just take a look at what we can make. I forget what we have made in the past, but I know... Let's start with this. Let's just go methodically. Rabbit's foot cannot go with anything I have. Great. Sleeping mask also does not go with anything. Shovel can go with battery pack, can go with detector and lever. If I put it with the detector, I make detector shovel. I know this one. This is a pretty common one to make. This is basically just combines the powers of the two and makes it more likely to find things. The shovel with the battery pack needs to also have the broken lever. This makes the jackhammer, which I've never used. Sledgehammer plus battery pack and broken lever. This makes the power hammer. I know what that does, and that's a really good item to have. Battery pack... It's going to be the same set. Magnifying glass plus metal detectors, burning glass. Ooh, these are also good. You know what? Hold on. If I do sledgehammer, battery pack, and broken lever, I'm going to get the power hammer. So let's make that. And then I can make a second item. I can make the burning glass. So I'm gonna show what these can do. I don't know everything that these can do, but I do know some stuff. A stronger sledgehammer that can also knock down weaker brick walls, because we did see a wall that was really suspicious. Now the other thing is magnifying glass metal detector. Let's make this. So this is going to have us kind of go back into the past, the burning glass, for things we can do with it. But the burning glass is going to light special candles and ignite fuses. Well, the only fuse I know about is in the trading post with the dynamite. We can't do that because we didn't draft it today. But special candles, we've seen candles everywhere. So I'm going to look for some places with candles. And then I'm also going to look for some weaker walls. Now, the thing about the weaker walls, there are some I know that I'm not going to do in this video because we haven't gone far enough in the game for me to like organically have found them. So if I do knock those walls down, it's sort of giving away that I have, you know, using some meta knowledge. But if I, you know what, let me draft as many rooms as possible first. But there is at least one wall I've seen that I can knock down. West Wing Hall, let's do this. I could potentially knock more down, but I don't know where they are, and that's okay. Mail room, let's draft this so I can have a package delivered here. There's a trunk I can break open. Cool, those gems would have come in handy a lot earlier. Let's see what I can draft up here. I almost draft every room of this house. That's pretty cool. Observatory's good. I think... Ooh, vault. Vault. Vault is it. It's vault because we have the key. We have the vault key. This is super lucky. I don't need any of this, but there's a lot of money in here. Now, it's tempting to make the vault to give yourself 40 coins. I have never, ever made the vault for the money. This is also a place that just tells you what day we're on. We're Sunday, November 15th. The vault is more useful for what's inside. So what we're going to find here is safe deposit boxes, and we have key 304. So I'm going to open 304. And within these boxes, you have permanent things. These gems won't be here every day. I think these gems are just here today. And there's an upgrade disc, so we can use that. We have a passport, Fen Ares. And look, we saw the book that kind of talked about the sigils. This must be the sigil for Fen Ares. It's got the pentagon in the center. It's got this, whatever this is. It's got the, I think this meant military, and it's got this sigil around the end. Let's just remember that. It'll come up later, I guess. International passport, diplomatic pass. Surname's Jean Ribbon, nationality Aresian, date of birth, female, issued. And that is our mom. That's Mary Matthew. That's the picture that's in the family tree. That's her. She's got a fake passport. So yeah, upgrade disc. So every time you open a safe deposit box, there is a permanent thing that's in there. You can only get it once. If I don't get the upgrade disc, I'd have to come back here and grab it. But this door is open forever. So there you go. I'm glad I got that. So the nearest computer is just in the laboratory. I'm so excited. I also screwed that up. Exit. Let's put this in. 2 upgrades in one day. Who would have thought? Give me a room that I actually want to see upgraded, please. Hallway. Hallway's good. Hallway's got some good upgrades. So, hallway. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I don't really ever want to pick this one. Add an extra hallway to tomorrow's draft pool. So the good thing about that is hallways have a lot of connectivity, but what it'll end up doing is clogging your draft pool. So if I draft the hallway, I'm going to have 2 hallways tomorrow. Then if I draft both of those hallways, I'll have 4 hallways the next day, and so on and so forth. So you could end up with a day full of hallways, which is great for getting around, but it's terrible for everything else because there's nothing in hallways. Now, these 2 are more attractive to me. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you just want the memes, this is a good one. Having a free key in here is great. I like just, there's a free key in the hallway. A locked trunk is also interesting. You need to either have a key to open it or you need the sledgehammer for this to be useful. But trunks will contain plenty of items. Sometimes they'll have keys in it. If there's keys, there's at least 3. If there's other stuff, there's gems, there's ivory dice. I think I'm going to go with the locked trunk. The key is nice. It's tempting and all, but I have other ways to get keys, and this is always a better prize. And if I don't take the locked trunk, then it's just a regular hallway. It's fine. So I'm going to do that, and then just hope for the best when I draft hallways. Okay, so now to use my 2 other items, Burning Glass and Power Hammer. I'm going to try to only use these in places where it is reasonable to assume I could find something. But we are going to go down memory lane because, let's see, Chapel has candles. I know that. There might be other rooms with candles, but I'm not 100% sure immediately. Shrine does, but I don't think any of them are unlit. Power Hammer is going to be used in the Secret Garden. I think that's the only places I know of. Because as much as I know from other playthroughs of my game, I've never found 100% before, and the game's different every time. So there's definitely things I know that we haven't done in the run yet, like this. Cool, so this should be permanently unlocked now. Now this will move the weather vane on the top. So what we're going to do here is we're going to move them all to face east. And you trust me on this, it's going to do something. I think east is the correct one. One of these directions is correct. I want to have all three facing the other way. Because to make them all face west, you don't need the power hammer, but to make them all face any other direction, you do. There we go. Yeah, that is what we want. And there's a different lever. So we can't pull it because it's already been pulled. This is the lever to the east side. So now the secret garden is really useful. We can use this room to open the antechamber's west and east gates, which means we can approach from either side. I don't think there's a way to do south. If there is, I just did not think of it when I first did this. But yeah, this room is great. You just need to get a secret garden key. I doubt there's a south lever here. No. Oh, I should have done this in my other playthrough. I feel like a dummy now. This is actually really... I'm going to take a screenshot of this from my other playthrough. I have a playthrough where I'm much farther in the game, and this actually is something I need to know. So let's just look at this and admire the view. Okay. So that's the use of the power hammer that we know of. But there's other uses we can find if we're just curious. We can find them without really knowing anything else. I'm heading the complete wrong way. I need to go out this way. We're going to head back to the chapel. Is there any way I can purchase steps? I can go to the kitchen and purchase steps. I can go to the locksmith and purchase keys that I don't need because I've unlocked everything I'm ever going to unlock in this place. Let's head... Billiards room is the way out. Billiards room is the way out. Okay. I keep checking the map. So we're going to go... There, we're going to turn at the passageway. Because I want to buy all the food. That will guarantee we have enough steps to do what I'm about to do. Yeah, good. I went the right way. But I hope I'm not wasting steps. My memory is so bad for the layout of this place every time I set it up. Okay. So this is going to give us only 11. We don't have a lot of green rooms, but that's okay. It's better than nothing. Now the bananas are going to be worth 4 each, and I can purchase 5 of them. So we're now back up with a lot of steps. We're not going to be worried about steps. Man, either you had a really good day in this game or you get nothing. There's never any in between. Okay, so not dark room. We're going to turn left here. We're going through security. Okay, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else that I really, really want to know? The chapel has to be this direction. Okay, so the candles, it's not just any candles. I gotta do other ones. These candles here I can light. Cool, huh? So this is, yeah, the Keeper of Tithes, the chapel's resident card, and tasked the sacred duty of keeping the stuff from the offerings. Every time I entered the room and lost a coin, it goes into this. If I break this, I get all the coins that were in there. However, the game doesn't tell you this, so it's kind of rude. If I break this, it's broken forever. You get one shot to break this open and get your coins back. So I'm going to wait till I've spent a bajillion coins here. I also don't need the coins today. I'm good on coins and there's nothing else to buy. So no to that. But these candles are going to stay lit forever. So I can just come in here one day after I've, walked through the chapel a bunch, break it open, get maybe 100 coins, and buy something that's really expensive. So that is what I'm going to do with those. I think we've looked at these, right? I just noticed I looked at these. Yeah, I think we looked at these. We got Rinna. We know the name of Rinna. We also know what Arinda looks like because we've been to the cloister, and Arinda's the one with the scepter. Do I know the other names? I don't think so. Oh, I do. I know Mila because we've been to the mage chamber. Mila is there. So Mila, Arinda, Rinna. So 1 is Rinna, 2 is whoever the hell that is, 3 is that person, 4 is over here, 5 is Mila, 6 is somebody there, and 7 is Arinda. Let's remember that. It will come in handy eventually. So I don't know a way to organically do this part without just like showing you. You can just totally break these. Um, you just need a sledgehammer, and you just need to be curious enough to do it. It's just in front of your face this whole time. And now that I've broken this, it's broken forever. There's nothing in it. Let's break the other one. And this one does have something in it. There's another microchip. We can plug it in. So let's head back to Blackbridge Grotto. And we'll put that in the thing. It's not enough. We need a third microchip. I'm just going to say, at the time of my recording, on my main playthrough, I still have not found the third microchip. So if it's possible to get now, well, I'm not going to show you because I don't know. And I don't feel like just looking it up. And then someday I'll find it, and then it will end up in this playthrough as well. Cool. That was nice to know. So the other thing I was thinking of, this was like day 2, we looked way down here, and we saw this dark tunnel that we couldn't see anything in, and it was a dead end. And we might have noticed the candles there that were not lit. Like we saw them, I don't know if I really pointed them out. I should have if I was thinking straight. They're barely visible, but there's candles here we can light. Right here. We're going to light those candles. So it doesn't really let us through. It's still a blocked tunnel, but we get this stuff. So we have a foreman's log from 1918. The complete manifest for all of the excavation equipment has been rigorously checked and delivered to the upper branch. After tomorrow, the site will be sealed and all remaining hardware will be packed up and transported to the original access tunnel for long-term storage. It's unclear if they will also seal that tunnel after our crew has left, but I suspect they may want to keep ready access to the gear, especially now that they have begun operations in the East Mine. A month ago, I believed that the discovery of gemstones in that cavern was directly linked to the closure of the site, but now I'm not so sure. The Baron doesn't seem like the type to value shiny baubles over history. Is this useful stuff? So, all the excavation, upper branch, the site will be sealed. Unclear if I'll seal the tunnel after a crew's left. Ready access to the gear. That just might be referencing this. So we're going to add this to our drafting pool. So the tunnel, I believe, can only be drafted along the sides of the manor, but if you draft it, then when you're drafting out of the room, a tunnel will always be present. So you could theoretically make a tunnel going all the way up the manor. Which is not as useful as it sounds. But if they're talking about a gear that they want access to, it's possible that the tunnel is required to access the gear. So let's look around for other things we can break with the power hammer. Because we also saw this. There's a sealed entrance here. And the power hammer is going to break it. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about this being breakable by the power hammer in this game, because every time that you draft a room, let's say I draft this Great Hall, and it can go south, but the dining room doesn't have anything going north, it'll also be boarded up, but you can't break that down. This one you can break down. So a player might not initially think to bring the power hammer out here, but it's a sealed entrance, and it's really obvious there's something in here, because why would they put this in the game unless there's a way to break it down? So I guess that's why you're supposed to figure it out, but we can break this down. And we're in the sealed entrance. There's more stuff here. Another foreman's log. Excavation progress is going smoothly, and crew spirits are higher than they have been in weeks. I believe this increase in morale is in no small part due to the installation of the boiler, which has honestly been a godsend. We now have steam power, no longer have to rely on raw muscle to scrape and heave at the clay like dogs. The new steam power hoists and winches are fully operational. We have been able to unearth over 5 times as much sediment per shift as we had been previously excavating. Okay, I don't think there's anything in here we need to remember, but this talks about... Okay, so if you remember in the boiler room, there was one thing we could power up, a big red box. It looked like this, that did nothing. We were just like, what the heck does it do? This is telling us there's a remote power box that looks like this. It's got a light on it, this has a light on it. So if we power up the boiler room like this, and then find this box, we'll be able to do something. What's great is you're able to probably figure it out without this graph, but this graph helps. So there's that. Here's another thing to break down. It's also possible to break these things down from the other side, because I'm essentially making a passageway, by the way. And I'm now in the basement. So I made it to the basement without the basement key, by the way. This is an incredibly lucky run to do this so early, because normally you find the basement after using the basement key the first time. I'll show you if I can get there. There's just a lot of stuff here. Can I get there from this side? Because normally you open this from the other side. Yeah, I can't get there from this side. So I've opened the basement. Oh, no, I can. I can take this. I can pull it like so. You know what? Let's do it. So this is the door. This feels weird because I was expecting to open this door first and not come through the back way. But I have come through the back way because I managed to get a really glorious run in. But yeah, you can get through the basement through this door, but we would have had to find a way to this door, and we don't yet know how to do that, and we would need the basement key. But I got in the basement without the key, so yeah. There's also a button up there. Now I need to get up there. Now in real life, I would just climb this. I would just climb up there and press the button, but I have to find a better way. So I need to be able to walk along this. So there's a gap here, and there's a gap here. But I see stairs over there, so I do need to figure that part out. Let's see what else. Let's try to organically go through the puzzle. I do see something here. This takes me... Oh, there's a gap there, but there's stairs. So if I can somehow fill the gap here, we're good. And there's also a gap here. You can fall down the gaps. They let you do that, but... Let's first... Let's see. This, let's move this back. We saw this earlier, but I didn't mess with it because I just was ignoring it. That goes there. There. So now I gotta fill this gap. Hold on, I'm looking ahead. I'm gonna see myself getting trapped. So let's do this first. I need to push something into here, so obviously it's gonna be this thing. That's the only thing it can be. So move this out of the way. And there's a statue of some bloke. We're going to walk this all the way across the basement. This puzzle's not too bad. The first time I ever made it to the basement on my first run, I solved the puzzle in the basement just on the first go. I just never got the power hammer in my first run, so I never ended up finding the shortcut. Which kind of trivializes getting to the basement, really. So now we can cross this. It's a little glitchy there. And we can remove that. Okay, well that's just going to go into this gap here. And we're going to press E to raise that. Let's get this out of the way. And now we can go up there. Doopy doopy doo. Oh, okay. No, we gotta move those. We gotta move those back here. That's right. But let's head this direction. We can find some stuff. So this says 100 bells, Sandy Heights, 5 p.m. I'm not sure what that is useful for at the moment, but let's just, you know, store that in our back pocket. Antechamber entry controls. Well, now we know this. There's something here I can't read because it's too small, as well as that. So I guess I'll come back with a magnifying glass. But since the basement's open forever now, I don't even need the key. It's really easy to get here. North lever, underground. East lever, Great Hall. South lever, greenhouse. West lever, secret garden. So yeah, the secret garden is a west lever. It also has an east lever, so there's more than one lever per door, I guess. It's just that there is guaranteed to be a west lever in the secret garden. The Great Hall we already know is the east lever. So yeah, the greenhouse is where we need for the south lever. We've never seen the greenhouse yet, so we could always do that to open this. But the north door is the one we want to open, and it's underground, which we're underground. We made it to the basement. We did it. So that's a nice graph to find if you've never found any levers. So we're going to not want to get trapped back here. So the first one I want to pull back is this. Is that... No, it's not far enough. Here. Yeah, that's where that needs to be. And then we'll move this one into position and then raise it, because it's the type that can be raised. Yeah, it's a nice, fun little puzzle. It's pretty easy to solve. getting to the basement's much harder. Yeah, sure, as soon as you have a power hammer, the basement's open, but you have to think to break open the door that we saw way back in episode 2. And yeah, you might not think of that. I certainly didn't. I mean, I never had the power hammer in my first run. But even in my second run, I didn't think to use a power hammer till after I had already gotten to the basement, so it wasn't that useful. Well, there we are. Okay, so now we open a secret passage here. There's so much. This game is so huge. I'm in the reservoir. So I think we've been to the pump room once, haven't we? We've gone to the pump room, I think, because we drained something. Did we do it? I know we've talked about the pump and the pump working on a reservoir somewhere. That has shown up, but I just don't remember where. I think we just read about it in a book. But this seems like a place that we'd want to drain water from. Like, the fact that there are stairs going down means that there has to be a way to do it. There has to be a way to get this water level down. And the only thing we know of that does it is a pump room. So we can, somewhat reasonably guess that if we find a pump room, we can do something about this reservoir. Over here we have a minecart we can't pass, so I can't climb over it because we're a weak and useless small child. Alright, here's a wonderful little gear puzzle. Let's figure it out. So we can rotate the gears. And if you notice the shape, we're only either going to go to that side or this side. So let's see. This is where we come from. That looks like a dead end. That looks like that goes somewhere. That has another thing we can use. That looks like it goes somewhere. This looks like a dead end, and that also. So let's see what we can find here. This looks like a different kind of lever, and when we hit it, it raises the gear. So the second level gear looks like it's a sharper bend, whereas that one is every 3 spaces. This one's every 2 spaces. And also, it looks like there's stuff up there. Like, if we could get to that upper level, we could potentially go somewhere. If there was a second person here, this puzzle would be trivial. But unfortunately, there's just the one. So that is a useless entrance or a useless exit from this thing. Let's set ourselves up to go to the one on the left. See what we can get from that. Alrighty. Let's see if this one just raises the gear. No, it doesn't. This one lets us twist the gear, which is going to let us go there. Alrighty. What do we got? We got a lantern. We got a map of the underground. Okay, so basement. So this is where we came in. The cliffside exit. Cliffside exit. Basement. This is the concealed entrance. So if we find an elevator to take us down, we could get in the basement this way. Well, we haven't seen any other elevators except the one outside that doesn't take us here. It takes us to a different spot. Unless, this looks somewhat familiar. When we looked in the foundation and saw that lever we couldn't reach, it looked like it was in something in this shape. If that's an elevator, it's potentially the elevator that takes us down here. Minecart is blocking our way here. This is the reservoir. Fountain entrance. That's useful to know. There's a way to get down here from the fountain. But unfortunately, the fountain's full of water. We can't swim down there. Tomb entrance. That's the room we haven't drafted yet. We could also get down here from the tomb. There's a lot of ways here. Torch chamber is this. Torches. That would be so nice if we could get there because we have the thing that lights torches. Rotating gear. That's the puzzle. And it looks like if we were to solve this puzzle going that way, we'd get to the north lever. And that's what we want. If we get the north lever, we win the game. So now we really know what we need to do. We just need to get... Ooh, this is the way through. This is it. We need to either enter through the tomb or through the fountain. If we enter through either of those, we can go through this passage because the minecart's blocking us here. Go through, Shoot, we need to set up the gears. Either setting up the gears here doesn't help us because that's the one that just raises the gear. We need to set up the gears going this way and then hope that this twists it to go that way. And if so, we get the north lever. We can win the game pretty easily. There's something buried floor plan it says there. I'm not sure. But now we know how to do it. It's day 9 and we know how to win. We can add the mechanarium to the drafting pool. I'm going to be honest, I don't use this room a lot, but when you do use it, it can be useful. The mechanarium has 1 door for each gear room in the house. So you might think there's a maximum of 4. You could not be more wrong. If you have more than 4 gear rooms, they put doors in just random walls, and those doors can lead to really cool prizes. So I do want this. Okay, is there anything else I can do today? This is as far as we're going to get in the basement. I don't think the power hammer is going to be useful for us anywhere else. Let's do this, though. Let's reset the gear puzzle just in case we put ourselves in a really disadvantageous position. Here. Oh, hold on. I actually do need to set up the gear puzzle ahead of time. Because the thing is... Ooh, I can't look at the map. Can't look at the map anymore. So this was the one that's the passage to the other side. If I were to call it a day here and get through the tomb or the fountain to here, we can't go anywhere. There's no way to turn the gear. So I need to turn the gear from here. I mean, I could always just go to the basement at the start of a new day. And this isn't the way I want to go, because I've been to that one. That just raises the gear. I want to twist this around the other way. Almost there. Because now all I got to do is draft a tomb and figure out how to get down here or figure out how to drain the fountain. Those are the 2 things I need to do. And there we go. We would just be able to walk in here, go to that, and there's probably something we can do there. Maybe, possibly, perhaps. Oh yeah, good day. Day 9. That was a really long day as well, so thanks, Mom, for watching. I'm going to call it a day in here. There really is nothing else we can do. At least I don't think there's anything we can do. So we're going to do that. We're going to say it was good. I mean, most importantly, we opened up the basement. That was the biggest thing we did today, but there was quite a few other things we did. We found some secrets in the secret garden. What else did we do? We got a bunch of upgrade discs. We ordered mailroom. We got stuff from the vault. Yeah, just 172 steps taken. Really good day. So that'll be all for that. I'll see people in the next video. Hope you all have a great day so far and that you have a great day after this. And I have nothing else to say.